Obviously, knew these first 4 games were going to be challenging, and we're through 3 of them, and we hadn't come out on a winning note yet. Disappointed this last game. Not only for the loss, but I thought we were out physical on both sides of the football, and I'll give Chattanooga credit for that. I thought that they pushed us around up front. Thought they controlled the line of scrimmage. I thought their offense kept us on our heels on defense, and a lot of times we're not in our right gaps. They did a good job of motions and shifts, bouncing back and forth from empty back to two back, etc. And even when we were in the right gaps, I thought we were soft on the back end, the secondary, and the linebacker position. Didn't think we fit things very good, and so we're giving up 4-yard runs, allowing them to get the second 6. They're 20 of 24, and I thought the only ball, there was very few balls that were even contested. The flea flicker, we're in pretty good position there. I mean, they can make that play. That was an outstanding play. But so very disappointed in our defensive effort. Not a whole lot of yards. 350-something yards. That's not a whole lot, but it's only on 59 plays, and then they were 5 for 5 in the red zone. Okay, so now we did hold them to a couple field goals, and that's good. So, and I think we got the 1 turnover, which was good, but we got to be able to harass the passer better. No sacks. Okay, it was a just good enough effort to lose. To be quite honest with you, it wasn't a winning effort. There was some good things, all right, but we've got to control the line of scrimmage, and we didn't do that. And I can tell you this, and I told the kids yesterday, it's been a lot of games. I don't care if it was MTSU, Missouri, even go back to last year, the Ole Miss game. Early in the year against a good quality SEC opponent that I felt like we got pushed around. So that was disappointing. Offensively, the yards are, they're good, but you're 3 for 5 in the red zone. There was 2 fourth downs that you don't get that were I thought that was, should have been a pass interference call down here on that 1 fourth down. Then we go for it down here. If the center gets up to the front side backer, that ball walks in. And so we had a busted assignment there. So maybe I should have kicked a field goal, and at that point the time was about to get us, and wanted to get it down to, I thought we could score there. To be quite honest, I knew they were playing zone and we're playing a soft zone, wanting us to throw it, and I thought we could run it in. Like we'd done it earlier on a 4th down. So offensively, even though there was some yards and there was some production, still didn't think we controlled the line of scrimmage. Thought we got pushed around. At times they're rushing, 4-man rush. And our quarterback's having to get off his spot, and they're not built to be a great 4-man rush team. Chattanooga wasn't, because they're a 3-4 team, so they got bigger guys inside, but they were still able to make Dresser move out of the pocket, and he was fast enough to flip it out and throw it away or run for a few yards. So I thought we played poorly on special teams. Our kickoff return unit was terrible. So then we'll just start fair catching the thing and getting it to 25. All right, that wasn't very impressive. So what I tell the coaching staff is we're all part of this. It's not just the kids. When our kids don't play physical, that's on us as coaches. So good job by them. We beat them twice in a row. They got a little confidence. Good scheduling by them. They're able to get on the road and had a belief system and get out of here with a win. So all we can do right now is, lick our wounds a little bit, look ourselves in the mirror, and get ready for a conference schedule. Now, you got 8 straight conference games. Like I told the team yesterday, I said, here's what you're dealing with. The team we're playing this week will run you out of the stadium if you don't play better than you did against Chattanooga. Their front 4, don't block them. They'll sack our quarterback, 8 times. All right, they're a lot faster than Chattanooga. That's how they're built, with their quarterback running and the different speed sweeps and different things. So it doesn't get any easier. All right, and so we've got to play better and get this game to the second half, because we're certainly not the same defense we were last year, but you're not going to be. People graduate. You got to compensate for that. You got to coach it differently and fit it to the players that you have, in the same way on offense. So what I'm looking for on offense is to be able to, continue with the explosive plays like we've been able to do, but we've got to be able to muddy up some and get some dirty runs and get to some second sevens and 3rd and mediums, 3rd and shorts. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
When you talk about physical play, that's not something you guys go in the coach's office and draw on the
True.
So how do y'all address that as coaches in practice?
Last week, remember I had said, hey, against Missouri and MTSU, I thought we were physical. I thought, at point of attack that they had to run past us. And those are things that genetically sometimes you can't change. And so this is the first time I thought we got pushed around. I think as a coach, here's what you have to do. You have to make sure that your schemes, that there's no gray area, that, okay, if the back motion's out of the backfield, this is still the gap that you have. Not, well, if this happens, you have to simplify as much as you can. And so I've got to be gap sound, and I've got to hit that gap fast and play team defense, make the ball bounce, because there's always an unblocked player, okay, if the quarterback's not running the ball. There's always somebody that's unblocked. And so we didn't do that Saturday. All right. So you want to make your schemes simple so your team can play fast. All right. And then that's where the player, once the coach does that, the player has to take responsibility and understand, hey, it's a physical game, and I have to line up and I have to play physical every game. And you don't have to be fast, you don't have to be big, but you can play physical. And we've got to make sure that we get that done this week.
You mentioned that you were disappointed in defense. What are you addressing this week in practice?
Well, just assignment sound. Okay, and we talked to our linebackers. Those two linebackers are good players, Gillian and Prather, and they can't do everybody's job. They got to do their job, okay, because they have ability to make a bunch of plays, and they do, okay, but you can't, because you're worried that you got a young secondary player behind you. You don't fit your gap because you're guessing, trying to, to help them out. Then all of a sudden, your responsibilities get neglected, and a first down is because of that. And that's sometimes that's happening on tape. All right. We also had guys last year in the secondary that when they would take a shot and try to make a play, they could cover them up. Okay, and get the guy down and line up, and they still would make their 10 tackles. So right now we're not covering them up when they do make mistakes. All right, and then they're trying to do too much. Which when you look at tape, that mistake is on them, and then the run comes out, the pass comes out on them. So we've got to get them to trust the system, to trust the guys behind them, do their job and be better team defense.
Kind of following up on that, when you look at the Austin Peay team, they're different than what you've seen.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks are different than what you've seen. So it really is assignment as far
Yeah.
as the options that they'll throw.
No doubt. I mean, and unfortunately, this is not a week to where you can say, okay, this is how they line up, this is where you got to be, because they're going to motion and get to, forward to a side, and the quarterback's got to be, somebody's got to be assigned to him on certain runs and stuff, and so it's a difficult week to emphasize the things that we're talking about, okay? But you know what? That's what Coach Hankins is. He's good at it. Did a good job last year against them, and so he's got to come up with a good plan. Our kids execute it and give us a chance.
But really, in a way, you can look at it and say, we're going to erase the last 3 weeks because all that matters.
Yes. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, I was telling the kids, I said, all right, look at it a couple of ways. Last year you beat Chattanooga, and we still end up 500 in the league. Okay, so this thing can still play out. We can still control how this thing plays out. Okay, you're at home, all right, but the team you're playing is a very good football team. Like I said, I personally think they got better personnel than we just lined up and played against. All right, and we just lost to the team we just played against. So that's the challenge this week. Okay. All those coach speak things about, hey, conference is what matters and all that. Yeah, would I still like to have won the game Saturday? You doggone right I would. But, but we didn't. So now we're going to find out, like I told the team yesterday, how much do we really love football individually? Okay, how good of coaches are we? How, the mental state of this football team was something I thought about this summer. If things didn't go good these first 3 games, where would we be? If things didn't go good these first 4 games, where would we be the next week? Okay. Then that's a delicate situation in practice today. What do we need? What do we need to do? To make sure our mindset to get your work in. But yet, okay, it's week 4. You don't like to bang on people, but then again, during the season. But then again, we can't just hope that we go out there and be physical. It has to be a habit. And so, there's a fine line between both, and it's my job to push those buttons and get us there.
What else about Austin Peay is worrisome to you besides their personnel and team speed?
They have a certain belief system right now. They do, right? They're 2-1. They scheduled well with PC and Moorhead, right? And then they had one of the big games. So they're confident. They had a great year last year. Everything is contested. All right. There's nothing easy. Play a lot of man coverage. All right. You're going to have to take shots. And they'll leave 6 in the box, and but they're very good up front. So there's not a whole lot of easy easy throws, easy runs. They're where they're supposed to be. They're very simple on defense. Brandon Cooper played here for us and coached here for us. Does a great job with their defense, and he's got his guys playing hard. And I know that they didn't want to give up 40 to Moorhead or whatever it was, but they're getting to conference play too, and their guys are rev it up, and they're a better defense than what they showed statistically this past week.
Do you think there's any motivation to losing the way they lost last year and having that bad?
Yeah, but I think we're kind of past that right now. I was hoping it would be, but I think right now we've got to worry more about us and not what it was last year. Do I think that our skill guys have a belief system unlike what they had last year? Yeah. I mean, Terry's making plays, and Galloway and Dresser, and we'll get some other outside guys involved this week. And I think the defense is more just needs to be concerned about themselves, not any scores to settle from last year. Anything else? Good, guys. Appreciate it.